Hey guys, how you doing out there? Today is obviously a very unique day. Today they've ruled that reticulated pythons are an invasive species. Of course we know they've never been an invasive species. We know they take 90 days sometimes to hatch. We know that if you're off by 2 or 3 degrees hot or cold, you get nothing but slugs. You know the eggs are almost impossible to hatch anyway, even if they took 60 days. It's unfortunately, this whole thing's based on non-science, and it's not even based on emotions. It's based on special interest groups pressuring the U.S. Fish and Wildlife. I went about 5 years ago, I guess, to the Interior office, and he basically told us, the second in command told a group of us that they had to do something because of the pressure from outside. Unfortunately, you know, those people have pushed false agendas. The truth is, the Burmese pythons in Florida have been there for over 22 years. The other truth is they've died off like insanely this year and 2 years ago in the mass cold. There is no science to back it. All the studies they did, the animals all gave into their conditions. There's just no way that these are invasive species. This is unfortunately it's just based on lies. Now the good news is, hopefully, if we can get together and pull together as a group of people, we might be able to get to actually make them prove their science. And I think it'll come out very well if we get that opportunity. So in the near future, we have a couple plans, and we're going to try to pull those plans together. So we're going to need you to help us, because you are the voice of our country. You are what America is. It is supposed to be land of the free, but I know it's still land of the brave. So we're going to pull this clutch of eggs. It's not about money, guys. It's about our passion. It's about what we do. Right here, this thing has so far-reaching effect. Look at these cages, for instance. These cages were all built. These cages were all built for them. People that want to have snakes. They have pythons and different things, and you know, they're built for us. This whole entire room behind me was paid for by snakes. People that do it for a living and have passion for what they do. There's a lot of ways to make money in this world. And let me tell you, breeding pythons is not the #1 way to make money. It's just a hobby we do that helps us to sustain ourselves doing what our passions are. And you know, there's a lot of people out there that do this. I think there's more people than even the government realizes, and we have to get out there and make our voice be known. This clutch of eggs came from a female that we produced about 8 or 9 years ago, that we produced 3 years, that we basically produced from another snake that we'd produced 3 or 4 years before that. And it's going to make snakes that we've never seen. And we're kind of excited about it, you know? And that's what we like to do. So, to take this passion away, first of all, the boa people out there, I am glad that you skated through this round, just like I'm glad we skated, the retics skated before. But in reality is, we got to fight. And I'll just tell you right now, if we don't stand together, they're going to pick us off one at a time. One of the rules that they're hiding behind, which I say really, U.S. Fish and Wildlife wanted us to find a way to resolve this issue. But they told us they had so much pressure that they had to do something. And so, unfortunately, this whole thing's protected by how much money the industry makes. So we're going to have to hope that we can get enough of that, the money, the shipping, the UPS, the FedExes, the rats, the mice, the rat food, the rat cages, the snake cages, the cleaners, the electricity, the building rental, all the different things that we do every day, the employees that are hired. You know, before all this started, I had up to 25 employees. Now I'm running with 18 because of they've restricted us down so much with all the rules and laws. So if we can pull together and get our books right, we can actually rip the veil that they're hiding behind and possibly have the opportunity for them to show us their science. And I assure you, I've been doing this long enough to know the science myself. There's nobody that has bred there's plenty of people that have bred as much as me, but there's nobody that has done any more effort at learning about temperatures than us. We know what a snake can do and can't do, and I guarantee you this law passing is based on completely not science. U.S. Fish and Wildlife is a science-based organization meant to protect wildlife. This is not wildlife. If these were let go in the wild, we'd be in prison tomorrow. They wouldn't even live in the wild. Most of these are going to be albinos in all different color phases. They're genetically lost a lot of their instinct. They don't even feed the same. I had a Burmese that was out of the wild. It'd wave its tail to hunt. These snakes don't even do that anymore. There's all kinds of lost things through captive propagation. You know, so at any extent, hang in there, guys. This is not over. I hope we can get an injunction and that we can somehow get in front of an honest judge that wants to, which I think most judges are honest Americans that want to see it go the right, to get the truth. And if we can speak the truth, we'll be just fine. So everybody stay calm, don't get all upset and crazy, but listen and let's unite against this wrong. And remember, captive propagation is the future. I mean, after all, as simple, you know, they have here, I got a sheet paper, Cat X. That's where they can take away your ball pythons, your Burmese, your parakeet, everything. HR 669 is the way they started this whole thing, and they failed so miserably they came back and just took a chunk. And they keep taking just little bites because they can't take a big bite because then they have to scientifically prove it. Well, hopefully they've bitten off enough that we can help Fish and Wildlife return to what they're all about, wildlife. And this is, you know, I just completely believe conservation through captive propagation. How is that bad? We're taking all the stress off the animals in the wild. Nobody needs to take an animal out of the wild anymore because there's just no need. These animals, just like our dogs and cats, we don't have to go bring in new dog and cat lines to start a new breed. We have plenty, and there's plenty of types of breeds. I hope somehow we pull this all together, and I hope you're behind USARK. I know that I'm definitely am, and we need to unite under one front. And let's see how this goes, and keep following us because we're going to try to keep this in the forefront and try to get to the bottom of it. I have a really good idea, but I don't really want to say it yet until we get organized because I want to make sure that we don't run off 2 or 3 directions, that we run off on the right direction, whether it be 1 or 2 different ways to attack this problem. But don't forget, guys, it's not about money, it's about passion. Don't give it up. Peace out.